a real great opportunity this week to play a very, very, very good football team in BYU and measure where we're at as a team at this point in the season. So we're looking forward to the challenge. We had a good practice this morning, and they handled the rain well, which is always a good sign of a team that's, mature. So I'm excited about the opportunity. That's about it.
Any updates on some players? Ishmael, Jake Brendel?
Nothing on Ishmael. Jake's doing good, and he'll be ready to go Saturday. So, he could have played in the second half, but like I said, we just pulled him out, and that was kind of the plan going in as well.
Does he need a whole lot of practice during the week, or is he kind of can get out there and play?
He needs some. I mean, everybody needs some, but Jake's so smart, and he's been doing it so long that he's different than a guy that hasn't played much. But he'll get more work as the week goes on, and he'll be ready to go on Saturday. But mentally, he's pretty darn sharp.
What are your impressions of Tanner Mangum?
He makes plays down the field. He's got kind of those Johnny Manziel qualities. Runs around and slings it, and they come up with it. He's a guy that forces you to cover for a long time. You have to keep him in the pocket. When he gets out of the pocket, he makes plays down the field. And, so we just have to be really, really disciplined. We have to play the entire play. We can't assume a play's over ever in the secondary.
Can you tell from the way he plays that he's, a 22-year-old true freshman instead of an 18-year-old true freshman?
I know, that's when you look at their team, it's really interesting to see the age of some of their guys as compared to, our guys. But, he's got a certain maturity to him, which comes with those 4 extra years that he has in life that some of our guys don't. But, it's just like anybody. You just go out and you just got to do your job, and we don't really worry too much about that.
How did Jalen Brown and Cameron Judge do with more playing time in that game?
They both did well. They both did well. There's some things that they've got to do better. They had a 30 or 31-yard run where we were a little bit out of position with one of the linebackers. One of those two guys, I can't remember which one, and they'll learn from it. But it was really good for them to get in and play and play an extended amount of time, as it was for a lot of our guys. We got a lot of guys a lot of time. So. Colton got out there and played a ton, and he played really well, so it was good for us.
Rewatching the tape on Josh, do you think maybe he did a little bit better than your first assessment, like right after the game?
Yeah, I think I'm just like everyone else probably. You get a little bit jaded by that first game, and then you expect it to look like that every week, and it's not going to. And when you went back and looked at the film, he did do better, but there's still some things, and he'll tell you, handing the ball off when he's supposed to hand it off instead of trying to throw it. And I kind of like that attitude of getting greedy, but he's got to do it within the system. And he's the first guy to recognize when he doesn't get it exactly right, which I've said many times. The most impressive thing about him is, obviously we see the skill, but what people that aren't on the sideline don't see is the way he reacts when it's not going exactly right. He just has tremendous poise and focus and the ability to just kind of move through the good and move through the bad and just keep playing. You don't really see that often in a young guy, especially at a position where the ball's in his hands every play. Was there some problems with the receivers getting some separation and that contributed to them? Not really, no. They covered well, but it's you got to be able to throw into tight windows and make plays. And like I said, there were some times when he should have handed it off and he threw it, and that's going to contribute to it. So. But no, our receivers are big and they're fast and they're physical and they can separate, and they played well again. So.
What'd you think of the one play where he kept it? Josh, the QB keeper?
I was probably like everybody else saying, "Get down." I like that he kept it. He made the right decision to keep it, and he typically, you guys have seen him in practice, he slides. And for some reason, he didn't slide. I wanted him to slide, and I didn't want him to take a hit. Because really, I think it was a 3rd and short or a 2nd short, I'm not sure. And he got the first down, and once he got the first down, I'm going to move the sticks and let somebody else take the hits. So.
There was another scramble where it looked like he got 10 yards, but he threw it out of bounds. Were you happy he just threw it?
He could have got like 10,
yeah.
Maybe? I can't remember the situation.
I think it was like...
I don't know. I can't remember the exact situation. If he could run and get out of bounds and not take a hit, that's fine. Maybe he saw something that none of us did, which is often the case, like seeing Mossy in the back of the end zone. I don't know how he saw him back there, the one that kind of bounced off Mossy, and that was an amazing throw. He's a pretty darn good decision maker for a kid making his second start. Not perfect, but none of us are, and he's getting better all the time. And like I said, this thing is that sometimes players come off the field and they don't really know what just happened. You'll say what just happened, or what coverage was that, or how are they aligned, and they can't really process it. And Josh is always able to process it, and that's a real positive.
Is there any worry with him potentially getting overloaded with classes starting next week?
I don't think so. He has gone through spring practice with classes. Now we didn't have game. I think he's a young man that really understands how to manage his time. We'll help him manage his time. He's very intelligent. We have tremendous resources here to, in terms of academic support. So I think he'll be able to handle it. If anyone at his age, in his position, is able to do it, it's a guy like Josh.
Is it advantageous at all to start the year without classes, or is it different because there's no routine?
I think that it's probably an advantage to be on the quarter system, at least from a football standpoint, because they're on campus. They've been through summer. They understand how it works. We can focus just on football for a few weeks and then kind of meld it together. So this week we went to the early schedule because that's what we'll do when school starts, and so we can kind of transition them back into school a little bit. But in my opinion, it's an advantage. Not having to go to class right away and being able to focus on football.
How did Caleb Benenoch do?
He did well. Yeah, he was our he was our player of the game, actually, for the whole team. And just being unselfish and going into guard. And the plan initially wasn't to put him in a guard, but we all decided we want to get Colton some play. And Caleb said, "Hey, look, I'll go in and play guard." And just very selfless. And like I said, he was the player of the game for the whole team. So he's a good player.
Did UNLV do anything, a new wrinkle defensively that might have thrown Josh a little bit?
Well, everyone does every week, and they brought a ton of pressure. They brought every kind of pressure you could think. Fortunately, we handled it very, very well. We didn't have a sack. We only had 2 negative runs, and one of those was my fault, obviously. The stupid, Well, no, we didn't get a negative on that. We got a negative on 3rd and 1, which put it to 4th and 2. Then I made a bonehead call.
Was that actually your call?
Oh yeah,
you made that
stupid.
Call?
Yeah, it was stupid. It was stupid. It was just so stupid. It was predetermined, and you
On
don't
TV, you can see yourself.
You've thought
saying,
about
my fault.
I just couldn't believe I'd said it.
You've thought about this a great deal, Holden.
Yeah, because one of the things that I pride myself on is my game management. I don't make mistakes like that very often, or I haven't in the past, so I won't again. But no, we handled the pressure very, very well, and it's good to see it. I like to see it. We've been good against the pressure. But no, Josh was, there weren't things that confused him. He just didn't always make the right decision, or his throws weren't just quite as accurate as they were the week before. And I think that's just part of the learning curve. And I think it's good for him to go through stuff like that. I really do, when you can win. It's a great opportunity to look at the film and really learn and then apply those lessons going forward.
Good way to win.
Yeah, any win's a good win.
Given the experience of your team, are you confident they won't get caught up in the post-play extracurriculars that BYU's?
Am I confident of it? It's something that I'm emphasizing, and I started emphasizing it yesterday morning before we even talked about UNLV. Just addressed, being poised and being mature, and being able to walk away, and keeping it clean and playing hard from snap to whistle. And not getting involved in anything that in the past has maybe affected us a little bit. And so it's been an emphasis all year, and it'll continue to be.
Is Miles getting a separate seminar on that?
He got a direct speaking to. Yeah. He just we're a passionate team. He's a passionate player. He's targeted a lot, and he has learned how to react a lot better. He's just not perfect yet, but he's moving in the right direction. So, it's really hard. You don't want to temper a guy's passion for the game, but at the same time, you want to, make sure that he's not doing something that hurts the team. So it's a fine line you walk.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay.
Thanks.